Let me introduce Gina Withelder, Mayor Pro Tem, member of our City Council, who's going to make some remarks this morning.
Thank you, Al. On behalf of Mayor Weir, the rest of the City Council, and especially all the citizens of our wonderful city, I want to bid you welcome and thank you for coming. It's a real honor to be here. I'm going to give about a 5-minute little dissertation on the history of Memorial Day, and I promise I won't bore you. 3 years after the Civil War ended, on May 5th, 1868, the head of an organization of Union veterans, that was called then the Grand Army of the Republic, established Decoration Day as a time for the nation to decorate the graves of the war dead with flowers. Major General John A. Logan declared that Decoration Day should be observed on May 30th. It is believed that date was chosen because flowers would be in bloom all over the country. The first large observance was held that year at Arlington National Cemetery, across the Potomac River from Washington, D.C. The ceremony centered around the mourning-draped veranda of the Arlington Mansion, once the home of General Robert E. Lee. Various Washington officials, including General and Mrs. Ulysses S. Grant, presided over the ceremonies. After speeches, children from the Soldiers and Sailors Orphan Home and members of the Grand Army of the Republic made their way through the cemetery, strewing flowers on both Union and Confederate graves, reciting prayers and singing hymns. Today, cities in the North and South claim to be the birthplace of Memorial Day. In 1866, both Macon and Columbus, Georgia claimed the title, as well as Richmond, Virginia. The villages of Boalsburg, Pennsylvania claims it began there 2 years earlier. The stone in the Carbondale, Illinois cemetery carries the statement that the first Decoration Day ceremony took place there on April 29, 1866. Carbondale was the wartime home of General Logan. Approximately 25 places have been named in connection with the origin of Memorial Day, many of them in the South where most of the war dead were buried. Official birthplaces were declared in 1966. My eyes are crossing. Congress and President Lyndon Johnson declared Waterloo, New York, the birthplace of Memorial Day. There, a ceremony on May 5th, 1966, honored local veterans who had fought in the Civil War. Businesses closed and restaurants flew their residents flew flags at half-staff. Supporters of Waterloo's claimed that earlier observances in other places were either informal, not community-wide, or one-time events. It was not until after World War I, however, that the day was expanded to honor those who have died in all American wars. In 1971, Memorial Day was declared a national holiday by an act of Congress, though it was still often called Decoration Day. It was then also placed on the last Monday of May, as were some other federal holidays. To ensure the sacrifices of America's fallen heroes are never forgotten, in December 2000, the United States Congress passed and the President signed into law the National Moment of Remembrance Act, creating the White House Commission on the National Moments of Remembrance. The Commission's charter is to ensure the people of the United States to give something back to their country, which provides them so much freedom and opportunity. By encouraging and coordinating Memorial Days in the United States of America and the National Monument of Remembrance. The National Moment of Remembrance encourages all Americans to pause wherever they are at 3 p.m. local time on Memorial Day for a minute of silence to remember and honor those who have died in service to the nation. As Moment of Remembrance founder Carmela Laspada states, it's a way we can all help put the memorial back in Memorial Day. I'm going to take just one more minute and read a poem that was written by a retired lieutenant commander in the United States Coast Guard, and it's entitled, "Freedom Isn't Free." It's very touching. I watched the flag pass by one day. It fluttered in the breeze. A young Marine saluted it, and then he stood at ease. I looked at him in uniform, so young, so tall, so proud, with haircut square and eyes alert. He'd stand out in any crowd. I thought how many men like him had fallen through the years, how many died on foreign soil, how many mothers' tears, how many pilots' planes shot down, how many died at sea, how many foxholes were soldiers' graves. No, freedom isn't free. I heard the sound of taps one night when everything was still. I listened to the bugler play and felt a sudden chill. I wondered just how many times that taps had meant amen when a flag had draped a coffin of a brother or a friend. I thought of all the children, of the mothers and their wives, of fathers, sons, and husbands with interrupted lives. I thought about a graveyard at the bottom of the sea, of unmarked graves in Arlington. No, freedom isn't free. Thank you.
Thank you, Gino. Before I start my remarks about Memorial Day, I want to thank the Boy Scouts, Merlin Haven, and Dason Cox for his Eagle Scout project that provides a place for a full-sized American flag at each grave in our cemetery of a veteran. We still have more to go, and I'm calling on each of you, if you see a grave marker of a veteran that does not have a flag, please let us know. You can call Merlin, and the Scout will place that from now on in. Thank you. I'll try to keep my remarks quite brief this morning. I'm calling this year, oh, by the way, before I forget, and I sometimes do at my age, about 4 years ago, Cecil Donahoe asked me to take over this program. And I said, to myself, I said, this is sort of foolish to come out here in the morning for 15, 20 people, and that's about what we used to see out here for Memorial Day. Because of the normal reasons, it's hot and there's a lot to do. As I look around and I see this number of people, I have to congratulate you. We have never had a turnout like this before. Thank you. I also note that we've got veterans here from World War II, Korea, I believe Afghanistan, and Iraq, and that is also something. And in our front row, I count 1, 2, 3 World War II veterans in the front row, 4, and I'm sure there's a number of others, 5. Look at the back, all over the place. It's fantastic. Okay, I'm calling this important holiday their Memorial Day. It's not just plain Memorial Day for a reason. It's not about us. Usual, and you look in the papers, it's the barbecue, the 3-day weekend, the car, the furniture sale, and as I noticed in the paper this morning, anything under the sun that could brand itself a Memorial Day, whatever, has done so. But it's not. It's about those that gave everything for our freedom. It's their Memorial Day, lest we forget. I know many have looked forward to this day because of the 3-day weekend, especially those who go to work every day. What better time to get that extra day off to do a little traveling or just catch up on some much-needed relaxation. And then there are those of us who turn out yearly at Veterans Park to honor those who gave all. But more often than not, many forget what Memorial Day really means. Of course, those of you that have served in the armed forces or have family members who have done so are well aware of the history and the meaning of Memorial Day. Some of you painfully so. I'm going to make mention this year, Memorial Day when we celebrate it here is rather impersonal, unfortunately. We talk about those that gave their lives in foreign countries so long ago, but I want to mention a few that, even though Mesquite is a very fortunate place, to the best of my knowledge, no one from Mesquite has ever been killed in a war. And that's pretty remarkable, even though we were at one time a very small community. Let me mention a few names of those that are related to people in Mesquite. The first one is Arlo Levitt. I'm sure you've seen the name. Arlo Levitt is the American Legion. Here is named after Arlo Levitt, Post 24. Arlo was an air cadet. In 1944, he was killed in an accident between a bus and a train as the air cadets were training down in Kingman, Arizona, along with most everybody else in that bus. There's a gentleman that is long gone now also, and his name was Paul August Hammerschmidt. United States Navy. What I know of Mr. Hammerschmidt and his son is Art. Art is not here today with us. He's away for the summer. Served in World War I, and well into his 40s, when World War II broke out, enlisted again. Most unusual. Art never knew his father, and he died July 31st, 1944 of his wounds. There is William Brent Turner, PFC, United States Marine Corps. He died in Vietnam, April 7th, at age 18, in country 6 weeks. The brother of Barbara Elstead. There's Christopher L. Buckwaller, KIA, October 31st, 2010, in Afghanistan. Was in the Army National Guard. And he's the nephew of a young lady here today, Jamie, who works at Smith's. So even though we haven't lost anybody directly, we have a lot of connections to those that have lost loved ones. I'm thinking back over the years also, several of my friends, a very close friend from grade school all the way through college, killed 1968, William D. Hansen. A little older than some of the other Vietnam veterans at the time. He was in his mid-20s. And my hooch mate, J.D. Singleton, age 19, with 3 days remaining in Vietnam. 3 days. He tried to rescue some people that were in a helicopter that crashed, and it blew up. So we all have some very close connections. Okay. Over the years, I've watched less and less about Memorial Day in the media, unless it's about the great deals you get. But we're going to change this. And looking at this turnout today, I know we can. Okay. So in Mesquite, we're going to continue the tradition of this day. Okay, and we'll pass this tradition on. Give us a minute, please. I believe we can continue, and we'll be done shortly. So we're going to pass this tradition on to the future citizens of our community. For we must never forget the ultimate sacrifice our men and women gave so that we might continue to be a free nation. So on Memorial Day 2013, let's remind our co-workers, our neighbors and friends, and family members of these people that we're young Americans who had lives that were cut so short. The rest of us could only pursue our dreams, but without them. And ending briefly today, I want to thank all of you who came out this morning to honor those who made that ultimate sacrifice, and to those who gave their time to participate in this program. There's always going to be time in our lives for the burgers, the beer, but we are the lucky ones. God bless the United States. God bless our fallen comrades.